So, right around the time when they were basically attacking the protesters in Ferguson right after the shooting of Mike Brown, I started working on a video and a petition and researching possible solutions because I had heard from police officers and people who were out there protesting and my friends and the men in my life, and spent years watching police officers in Chicago stop young black boys who were walking down the street minding their own business. And it would ruin my day coming home from work, to be honest, to watch that kind of profiling. And so I made it this petition, and I sat on it. I didn't send it out. I didn't publish it because I believed that perhaps, just maybe, the justice system would work. I said to myself on the day, as things sort of started to calm down and people started to get more complacent and people started to be quiet, I said, there's not enough excitement. If I put out a petition right now, nobody would sign it, nobody would share it, people don't care anymore. And I said, when the verdict comes out, if it is not guilty, I'll share it. I'll share the video and I'll share the petition. I never thought in a million years that I wouldn't even get a trial. So, this is kind of a splicing of the most important pieces of the mini videos I did. I don't have any makeup on right now, no earrings, no nothing, but who cares at this point? These are kind of reasons why I care, reasons why it matters so much to me, reasons why it should matter to you. But at the end of the day, doing nothing can no longer be an option. We're looking at genocide. There are so many solutions, so many starting places, that just waiting on a broken system to fix itself, that's the least. That's not even an option. It doesn't even make sense at this point. I've heard a lot of people and seen a lot of people call what's going on in Ferguson politics. This is not politics. This is personal. This is about people. This is about humans. I would not risk my career, maybe even some of my friendships, my reputation, people misunderstanding me or understand where I'm coming from, by making such a fuss about politics. This is about human lives. You don't repost a video of someone's shooting when it's about politics. You repost videos, multiple videos of men dying when it's about humanity. For me, this is personal. I am a sister. I am a daughter. I am the sister of a 6'1", 250-pound Black American male. The difference between my brother and perhaps your brother, or maybe the similarity between my brother and your brother, is that my brother is autistic. My brother is also nonverbal. So if he has an altercation with the police, he cannot even put his hands up and say, "Don't shoot." I tested it with him today. I said, "Hey, Stevie, come here." What do you do? I say, "Hey, come here." And I grab his arm, and his reaction was to give me a hug. I can't. This is not politics. You see yourself on camera? You see yourself on camera? Okay. No, don't stop the camera. Okay. You ready? Okay. I want you to, what would you do if I said, put your hands up? Yeah, good job. You think it's for a high five. What if I said, come here, come here, come here, come here? What would you do? Give me a hug. Smile. Oh. Doing a ton of research. Anybody who's been following me on Facebook knows I've posted pretty much almost every article that I've seen. I've been talking to friends who are conservative. I've been studying Fox News. I've been studying MSNBC. I've been studying CNN. I've signed almost every petition I've seen so far. And I think there's still a big, huge, gaping point that's being missed. And that is why I'm creating this petition, or a big part of why I'm creating this petition. The subjectivity of an officer being to say, hey, I feel threatened before they shoot, before they act with force is necessary. It's just like any American's right to self-defense. This is a value that our country has created, that self-defense is allowable and a permissible reason to act with violence. That is an American value. Was it always an American value? No. But is that currently an American value? Yes. And it protects people from rape and from domestic violence and from all kinds of things. And that goes to the extent of the person doesn't have to have a weapon. Here's the problem. Because that is a necessary evil that our country has, we also leave ourselves this huge open gap that any militant group, any group of hateful people, any group like the KKK in our nation, if they decided that they wanted to just commit genocide on a group of American citizens, all they would have to do, and I'm giving the blueprint right now, all you have to do is join law enforcement. When you see someone who is larger than you, shoot. When you shoot, when they come and question you, say he looked angry, he balled his fists, he was bigger than me, he said I'll kill you, and he moved quickly. That's all you have to do. Lie. What's even bigger than that, the fact that we can commit genocide on ourselves, all we have to do is join law enforcement, is that all of America is all of the world is watching us. And they're seeing that our greatest weakness is in our law enforcement. That there is a law that pretty much permits the killing of Americans. Which means that terrorist groups like Al-Qaeda do not need to be suicide bombers. They do not need to fly 747s into buildings. All they have to do is marry Americans, move here, raise your children here, and teach them to join law enforcement and kill the people that they hate. It is a huge, gaping loophole in our own system created by a necessary evil to protect ourselves from the violence that exists in the world. We are in the midst of a huge catch-22. We are in gridlock. This is about the descendants of slaves disproportionately being incarcerated in for-profit prison systems and then expected to labor for for-profit organizations and companies as if it were modern-day slavery, which is disturbing. Truth of the matter is the systemic things that have been put into place that target currently minorities. You see a lot of it in Black communities, but you also see a lot of it amongst right around the border and around immigration borders, and then you also see some of it actually on Native American reservations amongst tribal authorities. And the same things that are happening transcend color and religions and ethnicities. Some of the, if you've been keeping up with what's been going on, Miss Hetty, who is a 90-year-old Holocaust survivor, who was arrested in Ferguson at 90 years old for protesting. And she said, honestly, I can relate a lot to what's going on with Black Americans right now. I understand. She said, I remember what being around all of the anti-Semitic propaganda looked like, feeling like we were criminalized, being blamed for the problems of the country, having people cross the street when I walk down the street, having people feel afraid of me. So really and truly, that just goes to show that this can happen to anyone. Any group can be disproportionately targeted. You know, we can condition our country to have a fear or a mistrust or a desensitization really to any identity. So if you have an identity, whether it's gender, religion, culture or ethnic identity, sexual orientation, you name it, this could happen to you. So you should care. Police officer that breeds mistrust in the public by abusing their authority really spits on the badge that really good police officers and people who work in law enforcement, that badge that you risk your life for every day. And not only that, but a police officer dies every 58 hours in this country, so while on duty. And so therefore, it's not doing anyone any service, it's not making things any better to really breed a mistrust of law enforcement amongst the public. And that mistrust comes from people who are abusing their badge. We really need to have everyone in alliance with each other. You know, I just saw a video the other day of someone who didn't want to give a police officer their name, but then I saw a separate video of a police officer looking for any name that she could place a gun and a body on and basically accuse someone of murder. She said, I got a gun, I just need to place this on anyone, I need a name. And why would someone give a police officer their legal name if you have police officers going around neighborhoods trying to place guns and drugs on innocent people? Everything that a police officer who's not really respecting their position, every time they do something like that, it makes your job harder. So you need allies in the streets, and we need allies with badges. So really and truly, this petition is for you as well. And even though different precincts are different states have different requirements and have different laws, really and truly, what a police officer does in New York, from a public perspective, what a police officer does in New York has a huge impact on how someone in Atlanta or Chicago feels about police. So really, all officers really need to work together when it comes to decreasing abuse of authority and increasing accountability, because some people need to be held more accountable. At some point, you have to step outside of what it's like to be you and think about things from multiple aspects and recognize that you're going to have to be vulnerable and lose some power and lose some authority and lose some protection, because freedom is not free. And we've gotten so accustomed to the soldiers dying for us and paying the price for our freedom that we no longer think we have to pay a price for our own freedom. It's not free. Stop being comfortable. Stop being complacent. Do your part. This is disgusting. This is ridiculous. I don't even know what country I live in right now, to be honest. I'm probably going to edit all this out because I actually love my country. But we can do better than this.